hand painted or embroidery. Alright.
You can have a look.
Shy, Biguna.
You say something like that. I like the elephant with two different colors. I think that one like
Yeah,
that
you know,
one.
when I
I
saw it
like
at
that
the
one.
bazaar,
With the elephant?
Yeah, which are,
when I saw it at the bazaar, I was saying you have a bigger t-shirt?
Oh, you want
elephant.
a bigger size of
Jedi's favorite animal.
That's
So
what I started
if I was
I
gonna
saw-
say give him one on a
I saw
t-shirt.
one.
Okay.
The small one I showed you at your bazaar.
I know you'd like that.
He's gonna bring back like iPhone 5.
Is the king. So we learn a lot. And when at that moment we meet them, the revelation just starts because it's just not about the music, it's about the Bible, the proof life. Okay. They just teach us, how to read it by ourselves without the people teach us to find the truth, how to become free. So this is the time when the thing just, reveal for us.
So that's what happened 20 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
So they tell us to continue to read, but in Guyana we don't have a lot of information, so we have to go in France, in Europe, to get more information, especially to meet more people come from Africa. We just listen what them tell us, we go to France, and we start to learn more about Africa, because the remembrance just start,
Yes.
So that's why when we reach France, we get a lot of information about black people, our history, and strictly we go to Ethiopia, because the book we get in France, they always talk about Ethiopia. We meet some friends come from Cameroon, Senegal, France have different people come from everywhere. So we just gather all this information and we stay with the family. We move to Africa to see. And when we come, we see the reality. People is already there to fulfill the prophecy, because it's a prophecy. We know after 400 years, so we have to come back home. We know that. That's why all these things make a point, for I and I to really have that confidence. This is our home.
Well, thank you for sharing.
The Virgin is a fruitful father of 10 children here in Ethiopia.
All right.
When we come, we always have a tree,
Okay.
but the land is so faithful.
I will see you found out peace. Fruitful and multiplying. Freedom.
Yes, especially that.
7 more.
Yeah, for the mother, because the mother see eventually she have no a lot of Europe web control and all these things, so she was more free, understand, to liberate herself from mental slavery, So this place make us, see that virtue.
Very fertile land.
Yes, Dada.
Yes.
So we glorify. No regret.
All right. That's it. No regrets.
Marcus, give them few words, brother.
let's go.
Give them few words about your experience, the reason why you come to Ethiopia and things.
Yeah, we have the same story. We grew together in South Ghana. The mother also from Haiti. You have a lot of Haitian people come Haiti to get the freedom, because at that time you have war in Haiti, and then get the way to have the freedom. And we follow our parents to do the same, to search alone or we get peace. And like my brother said, is Africa is the best for us. Also, we have the education by the Bible, and the Bible says we have to come back home after slavery, after all these things. That's why when we understand the prophecy, we say, okay, it's Africa. Like you say, 20 here, and that time we young, is not like 15, very young. And that's why it's surprise for the people, see the people come from outside to come back Africa, and all the people want go out, and we come. That we make the cooperation also. It's not only Ethiopia. We know all Africa have to get the freedom. That's why we have some friends of us, they live in Senegal, Cameroon, and we cooperate. We create a factory. We make shea butter, coconut butter, oil butter, all these things. Like we can show you what we're doing. This cooperation between Ethiopia and Senegal. We like the shea butter for the skin. Yeah, together.
So the shea butter, okay.
Yes.
That's from Senegal.
100% pure, natural, is made by us. We have chebe, we have coconut butter, we have cacao butter also, and it's good for skin, for hair.
So this is made here or made in Senegal?
No, Senegal.
Okay, made in
Yes,
Senegal. Okay.
Senegal.
Oh, Cartopia.
Yes, Cachokia, the same name for Africa. You have moringa also. You have a lot of virtue for the skin, a lot of maladie, disease. Yeah. Curcuma is for the skin,
Right.
and the oil is the best because this, yes, neem.
Big. It's made by a widow in Chachamane, and to help her, I sell products.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
And this is my bag. This is myself. Banana, guava, blackberry, because we have blackberry in the garden. I can make it with this, but I can make for every fruit. Depends the season.
So do you have like a lot of watermelons here?
Watermelon, they have in the south,
In the
not
south.
in Chachamane.
Ah,
They
okay.
bring from the south.
Okay, bring it back. Because I saw some on the roadside.
We saw them at the Meki, at the exit from the toll road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they're selling watermelon and papaya.
And this Grace and trousers is from one sister from Wandogenet.
Okay.
She's calling Sister Charlene, and she saw some dresses, and she's not here today, but she just left yesterday for me. So next time she will be here.
And the soaps. How are you?
Sister Charlene from Wandogenet.
Sure.
I'm living in Wandogenet with my husband.
Okay.
We are in Ethiopia for 5 years ago.
5 years.
We have a project to try to build a community. So we bought land. We began to build the Rastafari Tabernacle
Okay.
for all the nation of the mansion. So we already have some catering. We also build a house
Okay.
to help us people who want to come in Ethiopia. To support our project and our life, I'm producing soaps and some natural cosmetics. So I have two spray
Okay.
and oil for the hair. I'm doing also massage balm, and I do crochet. So I do different kind of art craft.
Artwork, okay.
Is it you guys that are doing the festival?
Yes, we are organizing festival in Wandogenet in the garden of Haile Selassie House. It is going to be Friday and Saturday.
It's a reggae
You're
festival.
welcome also if you want to come. Yes, dub reggae music.
Okay. Okay.
So this kind of new because Ethiopian people know reggae, but dub it's a little bit different.
Okay.
So morning time we're gonna have Naya Bingi, and then sound system,
Okay.
and also some some singer will perform.
Okay.
And we're gonna have bazaar and Ital food. So it's the first edition. We are doing everything by ourselves. We could just get some fund that people raise above, so to help. So it will be, I think it will be great, and we want to do it for yearly. We want to do it every November month, the same festival, and we hope to welcome international artists also.
Okay, very cool.
We would like to take care of this house and try to make the place make link with outside and also with Rastafari people and Ethiopian people. Maybe try to take example with the Fairfield House in England, in Bath, where Haile Selassie used to live when he was in England.
Okay.
So they have activity, musical events. They do things like together Rastafarian people and Ethiopian people in honor of Haile Selassie.
Okay.
We will try to take care of the place. There is an hotel at this place, so they need people come back because after COVID they didn't get too much customers.
Right.
So they need to be more attractive. They need to renovate something. So the event is also to raise some fund for them and for the community. We have more explanation and we have a Facebook page so you can follow. Because we have a lot of ideas. We want to be sustainable, we want to grow food, we want to help the community, maybe provide some work by the soaps. With the soaps we can fight against plastic pollution. So Wondergenet is a beautiful place. We have hot spring water. And it's sad because the plastic, it's so much pollution.
Right.
And there is all the plastic, like they give individual soaps at each entrance and in all the hotel. And all the plastic bags finally finish in the water, in the river. So it's we want to change
Take
this
some
kind of thing.
Okay, environmental action.
Yes.
Okay.
And you
Those drums come from Africa and related to the motherland. Donc drum always come first. In the name of the Most High, Haile I,
Jah Rastafari.
King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, Alpha and Omega, beginning without, and the first and the last, light of this world, power and might of the Holy Trinity, Melchizedek order. Blessed Lord.
Blessed Lord. Blessed Lord.
Before starting the conference, I would like to pray. First of all, in Amharic, Ethiopian language. Besmeab, Bewel, Women's Kedus Badu Amlak.
Amen.
Abatach no, Besmai Metno, Semek Des Lingestetinta. Ficado Bessemano, Shandiu, Beneditiu, Yelek, Belashinen, Sutun Zari, Belashinen, Yaka, Belen, Yaye, Belinel, Yaka, and Deminin, Abetu, the Fetenamet Tagban, Kakafua, the Ninjim and Gis and Tenatna, Ale, Kebrin, Ganan, Zilari, Amen. The Mepeta Chin, Kisdingal Mayam, Oi, Bemerek, Kudeskabe Salamta, Salam, Idishalo, Basabaj, Dengilish. Bezgashin Milnesh, Ashla Fixabenat Oil, Salam, Tanch, Ligibechal, que ce touch du terreite, Chanchi Balechinech, ma San Francis Christos, était avec nous également pour la chose de Sibebesh. Le Elizabeth Kanganona, que te would Belgish, que Tachin, que Tachin, que Jesus Christos Zen, ye Kertana Minute Milne, Natia Tachin, yes,
Blessed Lord.
Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. We start with this figure, great figure in Rastafari movement. We call him Prophet Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He's the guy who prophesies in the 20s in Jamaica, in Kingston, Jamaica, about the coming of a black king to the east of Africa. And that black king who's going to be crowned will bring in the redemption for human race, first of all for black people, but for the whole world. And a few years after, in 1930, Haile Selassie became Emperor of Ethiopia with the messianic titles of King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah, Light of the world, Power and might of the Holy Trinity, Elect of God, direct ascendant of King Solomon and Queen Makeda of Sheba. Donc for the Jamaicans first, who heard the prophecy of Marcus Garvey in the 20s, they realized it was the fulfillment of the prophecy of Marcus Mosiah. And nowadays we call him John, the Black John the Baptist, the foreigner, who paved the way for the Lord. And Haile Selassie, with his coronation, bring the belief in Jamaica of the returning Messiah on earth, the second coming of the Lord, Jesus Christus, with his new name, Haile Selassie, who means power of the Trinity. The Black Christ return. Now for the descendant of slaves, it was a real revelation, to believe in a black king, in a black Messiah, in a black Christ, instead of a white Jesus, using by the former colonialists to brainwash us, to submit us, and to abuse us. Donc immediately, the pioneers of Rastafari movement started to articulate a black theology of liberation, to break down the chains of colonialism, imperialism. That was the beginning of Rastafari. And Haile Selassie was born in Addis Ababa in 1930 in front of 72 nations. It means all the head of states of Europe, of United States, came to bow in front of him, to give him allegiance. It was unique in black history, in front of 72 nations. Haile Selassie is the founder of OAU, Organization of African Unity, in 1963. For me, it was his best wonder. After 400 years of slavery, of dominion by the Europeans, Haile Selassie succeeded in uniting all African countries together. That's why nowadays Addis Ababa is the capital of Africa. From OAU, it became AU now, African Union. You know, of course, you know Bob Marley, the reggae superstar, is the one who spread the message all over the world for people to know about us, about who we are and what we believe in. So Bob Marley was the messenger. Bob Marley announced Rastafari to the world. And Haile Selassie granted Shashamane. In 1947, he granted this piece of land for the black diaspora who want to return home, their original homeland. Look, it was the door of return for the blacks in the West. And this door of return nowadays, right here in Shashamane, we're so proud to be part of it, so privileged, and we give thanks so much. It's the beginning for us of reparation. Because Haile Selassie, another title of him is the repairer of the breach. The repairer of the breach. And we believe that this little door of return right here in Shashamane gonna bring hope, gonna bring love and unity for all the blacks in the world. Some signal gonna happen right here, from here to the world, very soon. That's my prophecy to you. Don't miss it. That you already witnessed before it happened. And we have been called from the four corners of the earth to return in Africa. As the brethren said before, we are completely ignorant, you know. We are completely far away from Africa.
Sweet all the time. You're sweet all the time.
We have been deported into the West by force, not by our own initiative. And nowadays, it's with goodwill, with pleasure, commitment that we return home, occupy the land, and to pave the way for the next generation. Africa wise up.
You want the thing?
Yes.
If you have any question, if you have anything else you want me to
When you may said this earlier, when were you introduced to the Rastafarian?
myself?
Yes.
Me, I was born in France. I grew up there. And as a teenager, when I saw Bob on stage, in concert live.
Okay.
And for me, it was the revelation. I felt the charism of Bob Marley on stage. I see kind of messenger, kind of angel to tell the truth.
So Bob Marley.
Emphasizing.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
Okay. Yeah, so his message in the
His
music.
message touched me hard.
Okay.
From that time, I became Rasta, but I couldn't grow my locks because of my parents who opposed to me about it. But later on, when I reached Africa, because I made my first travel to Africa in the 80s.
Where did you go?
To Benin, West Africa.
Okay.
To Benin.
Okay.
Immediately, my locks appeared, you know, and yeah, was because dread supposed to scare our enemies, against the former colonialists were down with us at that time. And the first Rasta Jamaicans started growing their locks. For the common society, it was a dreadful appearance. You know? That's why they call dread locks.
Okay.
You know?
And so you
to get respect, because before independence in Jamaica and in all the colonies, the blacks have no respect, no regard, you know, from the white other supremacy. And it was so important for them to claim and to even to boast in front of the, you know, oppressor. You know, and the dreadlocks came at that time, you know. Yeah. To scare them.
So the term is a term that they gave it.
Yeah.
The dread part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they said it was dreadful.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how do have you been to Jamaica?
No.
Okay. So with the terminologies, because you know I've heard, you know, talking to several people about the impact of colonization, and a gentleman talked about, you know, the colon and that whole part, and then the other gentleman I spoke to, leaving the Virgin Islands, having a really solid awareness of what has occurred, what is still occurring, and the impact that it has on the larger African diaspora, with the different terminologies and with the way that we're characterized around the world, the negative connotations that are often expressed about Black people, people of African descent. How does this community look to educate and inform those of us who are largely uneducated about a lot of this history? I mean, there's a lot we just don't know, you know. So how do you feel this community can be impactful in educating us better about the history and then about what you're doing and what you hope to see for the future?
I think reggae music is the best medium to touch, you know, massive, large population, not so well educated, as you said, because reggae music delivers a simple message, and everybody can understand what it's all about. First of all, here in Chachamane, we have been approached by many international channels. You know, they know how deep, you know, the history of Chachamane is, and they send regularly to us journalists, you know, to make reports about it.
Okay.
So we have already many documentary, you know, traveling the world. BBC came, CNN came, Al Jazeera came, you know, French TV, all of them came, by the way. Italian TV, you know, and every time we try to popularize, you know, what Rasta is all about today.
Okay. Are you familiar with Oyotunji village in South Carolina?
No.
Okay, okay.
Greetings, Rastafari.
Yes,
This is my
Mama Stasi.
This is Prince Rastafari.
Project, and the sister was telling you about Wonder Gene. Here as well, we have enough projects in mind to develop Shishamani and make it more brighter. You know, to enlighten the whole world. And by the grace of the Most High, we're so confident about that for future. Because the Almighty Himself, you know, walk by an side.
Okay.
That's our confidence.
Okay.
We're not alone. Sometimes people look at us as weak and small people, but through our weakness, the Almighty will fulfill His might. That's our confidence.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I forget to speak about our shop. We have shop also in Wonderminute. It's Wonderminute is local tourism. Ethiopian people come because of the hot springs. And there is a resort, there is hotels. It's attractive. So the tourism is coming by Kazbeka. And we have a shop near to the entrance. So we sell the product of the shop. We do also massage. We are working with Ethiopian people. And we also soon we will be able to sell food and do juice, and so we have restoration in Wonderminute.
But what we need anyway, we need more support from our community worldwide. You know, we would like to see all the blacks united together, you know, to promote Africa and to promote themselves. You know, when you see Chinese, when you see the Jews, the way they work together, what are we waiting for? You know, it's time. It's time for Africa.
It's overdue.
With myself, I'm the runner of the lodge, Zainchi Lodge.
Okay.
My wife, 20 years living in Ethiopia.
Oh, you've been 20
Yeah,
years?
20
Okay.
years. Yeah. We grew up 2 children with us in Ethiopia.
So if somebody wants to come and live here, if they want to, what is the requirement?
You have to try your best to stay legal in the country.
Okay.
My view.
But like the visa process?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's better if you have
You can get a
enough
2-year
money in your
tourist
pocket.
visa.
If you can be investor, launch a project,
But it's too expensive to do.
it's not easy.
Yeah, the investment for if I'm not married to an Ethiopian, I have to bring $200,000 US.
Same for no,
Yeah.
it's the same way.
Exactly. If you're married to an Ethiopian, you can invest $150,000 US.
Okay.
But that's the only way to get residency, or you have to marry someone.
Okay. But once you marry someone, then
When you marry them, then you get a residence card like me that you have to renew every single year.
Okay.
Not even 5 years. Every single year.
but do you need $150,000?
No, you don't need anything.
Okay, okay.
Easiest is just to marry someone
Okay.
from here. Yeah.
But something is,
Wow.
we can do things in Ethiopia even because a lot of us people we have a hard situation. We don't have paper. We don't have
Right.
So, but we can do things.
Right.
Ethiopian people give us chance.
Yeah.
I have
No.
a shop. I don't have my ID card. I have
Yeah, a
shop.
lot of people
I'm
they don't have
working-
papers.
I'm good. I get it. I get it. I get it.
But the heart is there.
Yeah,
You know,
No, I get
the
it.
main thing is the faith,
that's it.
the determination.
Yeah,
the
nobody's
goodwill
gonna,
that we
nobody's gonna bother you if you.
As long as you don't travel too much.
Okay.
Ah,
If you're going outside and
You
on
have
the
to be good.
roads, yeah.
Yeah. You understand. You understand what to do.
So
I
is
get
that,
it.
that yearly renewal to make sure you're still married?
Yes,
Okay.
because we have to take a letter, and you have to have like a business license, or you have to show some income. But really, it's just a letter, the income, and they just want you to pay something. Really, they just want you to pay.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I'm
the
saying.
price has gone up so much exponentially
What's the
since
price this statue? Most recent.
it was too expensive. It started out at 1,800 for the year.
USD.
No, Burr, which is one that, but that was
That's like $20.
that was like that was maybe 3 years ago. And then last year it was something crazy like maybe 20,000 or just something ridiculous like how much it went up. I mean, it's still better than getting a visa, and it allows me to travel freely, but still, it's gone up a lot. It's a money grab. For sure.
And that's all over now.
Yeah, it's really.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, many of us were outlaw for years in Ethiopia,
Oh.
but they never give up.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, the Ethiopian government offered them ID card for 5 years, cancelling all the debt. You see? Donc
Yeah.
it was a real recognition
The back payments.
for the community, for the Rastafari community.
Right.
But just now, this
Yeah,
month,
but
there is
recently,
new,
there's a
everything
new
changed.
head in immigration. He changed the regulation and tried to
Go back.
go back.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
I-
not surprised.
Can I just ask about your recommendation, the recommendation that you got from the immigration, is it, or to marry an Ethiopian? Is that recent?
No, I moved here because I am married to an Ethiopian anyway.
Okay.
My
okay.
husband is Ethiopian.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think if you're going to marry someone, you have to make sure they're gainfully employed or they have some sort of business and they're willing to work with you to make sure, every year you can go get the renewal.
The reason I asked that is because 20 years ago, that was the advice that they gave to people, especially brethren coming into Ethiopia, to marry an Ethiopian woman 20 years ago. That's why I asked you how recent was it.
Okay.
Because 20 years ago, that was what they were saying to and those people that they recommend, many of them did marry Ethiopians, and then or did have relationships with Ethiopian women, and but that didn't help with their.
Yeah, you have to have someone who brings some finances.
Yeah, yes, it's got to be more than that. And
some income, or you have to have children.
Now we have our ID residency card, which is the 5-year. Not everyone has it, and many people who've been here 20 years don't have one.
Right.
I mean, I'm recent, I'm new, really in the community, but I have one.
Okay.
And because I do travel, and it's part of my, this is my home, but still I have business, and I have business. To live here, to live in Ethiopia, you need to have, thank you so much, you need to have some, first and foremost, how are you going to live?
Yeah.
Financially, how are you going to live, wherever you're going to live, wherever you want to move to, whichever address you want to move to, how are you going to maintain yourself?
Right.
So myself as a Rastafarian for over 50 years, my desire was to be in Ethiopia and to live in Ethiopia. But it took me many, many years before I actually arrived here. In fact, I retired from the UK before coming to Ethiopia to live in Ethiopia. So I know that there's a small pension there that is gonna, whatever is going on. Plus I have projects for the community, worldwide community, international community. And these projects have to sustain themselves. So I do work and works to make sure that they are funded. And one of the things I'm trying to reach now is my main work, which is an educational calendar, which I do. And this is another reason why it's important for me to be able to travel, because this has to be brought to the attention of people worldwide. So my residence card allows me a visa, allows me the access to the visa up and down, and I don't like it. Except once a year I go out to the UK. And the reason I go to the UK to print this is a calendar. It's an educational calendar that begins in September, like the Ethiopian calendar. It's everything that the enlightened mind needs to know about who Rastafari is as a people, as a nation, as a journey. And it's called Rastworld, and that's because it's about extensive Rastafari projects worldwide, but mainly, from our homeland perspective. So by miracle, I'm going to, thank you. by miracle, I found a printer some 10 years ago in England. And this is just before we repatriated to Ethiopia. I was out of money for printing this, which is, you know, this is like my 14th birthday. I was out of money, and I was, you know, just reasoning with the Almighty. This work needs to be done. This education, this information needs to go out there. You can be an expert in African independence. All that kind, you know, is a whole multitude of information and quotes and directions inside there and guidance. So then I kept coming across this business card that said, this to print, right near my house where I lived in London.
Okay.
And so 3 times, and then I picked it up and decided to check it out. And it was on the 3rd time seeing it on my journey, I went straight to the office, and when I showed him the work that I did previously, he said, I love this. I love this. What I'll do for you is I'll print it, and you go and sell them, and then you can pay me.
Okay.
So that's been the journey for 10 years with this calendar.
You don't
So-
want to print it in artists?
Well, I've tried. The printing, they're not up to the standard as
That's true, but we have one printer that we used. It's really good.
Look at the quality of this.
This is a beautiful one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do have that option. Look. And I have 15 grandchildren now. So most of them are in the UK. So it gives me an excuse as well. That short time there. You know what? You know, a lot of people don't realize how hard it has become to live in the West. Here in Ethiopia, we are really, you know, well up, but especially obviously it's money that's going to make things go. So how are you going to make money to make it? By what means are you going to do it? Long after I retired from the UK, I was still able to teach in Ethiopia because you know, everyone just assumed that I was younger than I am. You know, like I have this problem if I go to the hospital in England, I used to have that problem. You know, they say, oh, you know, like, oh, you gotta go for whatever. It's just an assumption that people make. So of course, I couldn't, I presented all my documents, but they just didn't believe that I was that old. So I was able to teach here in Ethiopia, in addition to saying I retired from that one. You understand? So it's how you plan, because planning comes from the Almighty as well. You can't be doing it on your own. It has to be, you have to be inspired according to who you are. And as you know, with Rastafari, this is what he gives us every time, He affords us the inspiration to be visionary in our lives. Yeah, many people have arrived here and have taken on skills that they never dreamed they would have been able, to do. And it's not just about learning a language as well as that, So it's a multitude of making that step, that first step.
Can I ask you, are these the names of the tribes?
There's the names of the tribes by month. And it's by month and by color. That's, this is a tribe. But there's speeches, from, and we've got adverts sharing Rastafari works worldwide inside of them as well as, information for teachers, like, the independence days and months in the year and stuff of different African countries, different stories up there.
How much do you sell these for?
Here in Ethiopia, it's the best price. I'll give you that. Because I'm home and I've paid most of the bills. So this is just for the works here. So 300 birr each.
Okay. That's so reasonable.
Yeah. It's support because it's education. It's about educating the
And they're
community.
beautiful, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. But out there, it's like $10 to one in US and €12 for one and £7. That's those prices out there. But those prices, you're out there, you make that, you do as the printer asks, you go out there and you sell them, people say, oh,
You do that now. We might not ever see you again.
Yeah. By myself too, yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
You said
Now
late-
we
late
find out.
70s?
Yeah.
You said it was in the
And they
late
had all that serial
Oh
killer
yeah,
now.
but it was a little tricky in the 70s too.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a little tricky.
yeah.
Wayne Williams and all
Right,
that
right.
going on down in Atlanta.
Yes, yes.
Right.
I felt the intensity of the stairs, intensity get as you got more southern,
Southern.
as you got more southern,
Yes, yes.
man was looking like, what the,
Yeah, who's this man?
who's this on
Yeah.
the road? By himself,
Yeah.
Were you Rastafarian then also?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just started doing that. So
Oh,
next time looking at the different,
Yeah.
beard and little this, So it sounds a bit, that's actually called me some weeks ago. He's saying that the whole idea is in that idea of repatriation, really. Africa, you're interested in Chassimani to do with that?
We're interested to bring African diaspora guests to, when they come to Ethiopia, we want them to stop in Chashamani and learn about the community here. And we would love for you guys to share what it's like, the experience of being Rastafarian here in Ethiopia.
And you're prepared to organize trips like that, to make that like a tourist guide, and you have everything organized, and you can come and visit in Ethiopia a
Right.
certain amount of time. We bring you to Shashamani.
Well, they're coming to Ethiopia as a whole, and Shashamani is one of the places where,
Yes.
if it's possible, we would like them to stop,
Yes,
to be able to learn more about the community, to maybe support the community, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Good guess.
So, in other words, it's a bit on the topic we've been talking about today.
Yeah.
Except that we've had a couple examples of this idea before.
Okay.
I think they've worked pretty well, and they still do. You, I think, would be new, or what's different is that you're all African. You now who are
Right.
saying that we have this idea and we want people to meet people now in Shashamani. It's not the first time that I've heard this idea, and I'm involved with the person who's an artist and this and that. People come to see me and so on. From Europe, all those organizers. So for us to get from I'm taking you as a sort of representation then of really of the African American situation. That one of the options, one of our history, is that men have given their life for the idea that our only hope is Africa, and we need to think about even going there physically this time, whatever. That's like it is a passion. It's a passion about something. Some feel that so that connection is very there's hardly any connection with our community and really with communities, other African communities abroad. Not that much connection. Not because it's a policy, but just because we haven't, got it to that level of well orchestrating our international clout. Then it's just about surviving, and just about trying to get organized or get on with each other, or get some common front about our position to the outside world here. Shashamani got a bad reputation for tourism. Bad meaning to say, it's been written in some books that these Rasta people, Jamaicans, in Shashamani, they're very and they don't like tourists. I've read it for myself. Imagine that's written in tourist books. That's not a good, it's not only not focusing on bigging you up, it's actually kind of making people afraid to come here.
Come here.
That's Alex, So little by little that gotta move around. Nobody's that, we're it's not 100% untrue neither, by the way. We are sort of sensitive idea. This is the reality of man moving out of the slave master's kingdom, of their own volition, and they're moving out with a memory, not an imagination. It's not an imagination. It's a memory of your ancient
South coming.
So now, in moving out with that consciousness, there's people who are in power who don't like that idea. From the beginning, when man was coming, even in Menelik time, as early as that, and then after in the ambassador, people who read the letters.